everybody, and welcome to another day of USWA Championship Wrestling. I'm Dave Brown here with Corey Macklin, and we're ready. They're ready.
Yeah, we're ready indeed. Lance Russell has the day off today. He'll be back with us next week. Boy, is he missing a day today, Dave. The big day today, we've got Brian Christopher on the card. We'll see two sexy in action right here. Dangerous Doug Gilbert. He won the big round robin in there. And so today, that gives Doug Gilbert a shot at the USWA heavyweight title. And his opponent will be primetime Brian Lee.
That's right. That was the stipulation on the match. Win the round robin tournament. Get a TV match with the USWA title at stake. It happens today.
Also got so much here. We want to go over it real quickly. Uptown Karen and Miss Texas. I understand they had a bout here last week.
They
was out.
That's right, yeah.
Today is scheduled. We'll see them in action today. And also, to top it all off, the big main event, a six-man tag. Brickhouse Brown, the Gambler, Gorgeous George III, taking on PG-13 and the Superstar.
Oh, it's a big day. Another thing about that Uptown Karen and Miss Texas match, going to be no time limit, no disqualification, so we're going to have that one coming up first. But remember, the big news coming up after that, and hopefully that one doesn't go for the whole show, because we do then have the USWA title match coming up.
Exactly
the
right.
USWA title held by Brian Lee on the line, and challenging for it, Doug Gilbert. A little bit of a strange situation with Doug Gilbert challenging for it. It's one of those things where I think most fans are not going to care who wins. They're just going to sit back and watch the whole thing, as Doug will be going against Brian Lee, USWA title at stake. We'll be back with action for you in just a moment.
Okie dokie, action coming up right here in the ring. Uptown Karen taking on Miss Texas. A ladies match coming up right here today on USWA Championship Wrestling. Going to get to the ring with that. Before we do,
all right.
Jimmy Harris out here.
I don't know what you're doing out here, but we got another interview scheduled, we got a match scheduled, and we want to get it underway, Jimmy Harris.
Once again, Dave Brown, the USWA is coming after primetime Brian Lee wide open. Well, this time, it's not the fans' favorite. It's the guy you love to hate, Doug Gilbert. Well, guess what, Dave Brown? You can go ahead and pull your crayon out and mark that name off, because that match will not happen. Because Doug Gilbert has been in the dressing room. He knows the power, the strength, and the size of primetime Brian Lee and Jimmy Harris. So, Doug Gilbert, if you take that match, you will lose and you will be hurt.
I'm not gonna mark the match out. We're gonna leave it on the card. We got it scheduled. He can't come out here and cancel him out. I guess he could forfeit the match and give the belt to Doug Gilbert, but we're gonna leave that match on the card. Corey, sorry for the interruption.
Oh, that's okay, yeah, Dave. We got Uptown Karen, Miss Texas, coming up here, and while he's on their way to the ring, Uptown Karen and stopping by with Brickhouse Brown.
First of all, let me just say one thing. Downtown Bruno is away taking care of some business. So whenever he's away, he give me the job of looking after Uptown Karen. And let me tell you something right now. Bruno have to grease my palm because I don't do nothing for nothing, okay? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make sure I earn my money by looking out for this woman. And I just wanna say one thing I'm very disappointed in. Let me say one thing about this. Sweet Georgia Brown, you forget one thing. I'm your big brother. Don't let Miss Texas use you, girl. That ain't how I taught you. Use your head. Come on back over. You got the family in an uproar. Now, you know I ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. Understand what I'm saying? Just remember who taught you what you know. So I'm gonna just say one thing right now about these bike alley brawls that we got coming up soon. Karen, I done took you down in the hood and done showed you everything you need to know to handle Miss Texas.
I'm ready, Breck.
You ready?
I'm going to finish her off.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. Don't she
Down in
sound
the
good?
hood, yeah.
Oh, listen at you right now, houseboy. What I told you about that, huh? She been prime shape. Look at her. I've been taking her down in the hood, getting her right, and she ready to take care. And I'm going to tell you something else right now. It's going to be some thumping, bumping, stumping. Miss Texas all upside her dapper head.
Well, we'll see. That's what about sign Brickhouse. Miss Texas is out here, and we are ready for it. Miss Texas and Uptown Karen.
No time limit, no disqualification on this one as Uptown Karen jumps into the ring. Referee Bill Rush calls for the bell, and Miss Texas waiting there. And here we go. No time limit, no DQ. Oh, boot to the midsection.
Miss Texas, of course, wrestling out of Dallas, Texas. And look at her, boy. She's wasting no time getting on top of Uptown Karen, putting it on her today.
Karen trying to call timeout. Sorry, no timeout in wrestling.
No, Karen wrestles out of Glasgow, Scotland. And of course, there and what in the world?
Some kind of powder she's dumping in her hand.
Filling the hand up with that stuff. Look at Miss Texas.
Oh, my goodness. Powder in the face of Miss Texas. Referee saw it, but remember, it's no disqualification, so the match is going to continue here.
No time, no disqualification in this bout here today. And Jimmy Harris taking you through there earlier about that USWA title bout.
Well, in spite of what Jimmy Harris says, the USWA title match will take place. Doug Gilbert against Brian Lee. Brian Lee, of course, the champion, and Doug Gilbert will try to take the belt away from him right here today, and that's coming up after this match.
It is scheduled for special television time for the heavyweight title bout as Uptown Karen and Miss Texas go at it. Miss Texas whips her into the ropes. Elbow from her, takes her down. Brickhouse Brown grabs the leg of Miss Texas, trips her out there, Dave.
Well, Brickhouse Brown said that Bruno left him to look after Uptown Karen. Obviously,
three.
Is that a 3 count or 2 count? No, his shoulder was up, only a 2 count, says the referee.
Only 2, yeah.
Brickhouse Brown tripping Miss Texas, getting involved in the match, unable to just stand in the corner and stay out of it.
Oh, man, I tell you.
There again, no disqualification, so the match continues.
No time limit, no disqualification for this special ladies match here today on USWA Championship Wrestling. A pin, 2, and Miss Texas kicks up at 2. Boy, Uptown Karen hooked the leg that time and thought she had it down for the 3 count. But again, she could only get 2 out of it. And Brickhouse Brown, what a headbutt on Miss Texas. Yeah, that's just great, Brickhouse, I tell you. Awful. Pulling that kind of stuff out here.
So it's 2 against 1, effectively, and not only 2 against 1, it's Brickhouse Brown and Uptown Karen against Miss Texas. Miss Texas still hanging in there, though. Here she comes. Knocks Karen off her feet. Down to the mat again goes Karen. Miss Texas looking around. Brickhouse Brown is out of the corner now. He's wandering around the apron. Once again, he's there to trip her up.
Brickhouse Brown, let me tell you, he's interfered in his bout. 2. And only 2 again. Miss Texas kicks out at the 2. I thought she had it that time.
She was able to get the shoulder up. That's the only thing that saved her from the 3 count there, because it sure looked like it was over.
Very close here.
Look at J.C. Ice.
J.C. goes up to Brickhouse Brown. J.C. Ice putting it on Brickhouse. Miss Texas got her. Cover, she got her. 1, 2, 3. Miss Texas gets the win as J.C. Ice takes care of Brickhouse.
They're still going at it. We're going to be back with more of the USWA Championship match coming up. USWA heavyweight title is going to be on the line in just seconds. Referee Bill Rush is right there in the ring right now. And here comes Doug Gilbert. He's the challenger, winner of a round-robin match a few days ago, which gives him the shot at the belt here. And Doug, I know that this is a little bit of an unusual situation here, and Jimmy Harris has said maybe you ought to step aside.
Yeah, it's very unusual. Jimmy Harris has come out here and he said quite a few things. And I sat back there and I really listened, Dave Brown. Jimmy Harris said he didn't think I was like Brian Christopher. He didn't think I was like Bill Dundee. Well, I'm not like them. I'm my own man. And he said that he didn't really know why Doug Gilbert had this shot at the USWA title, well, I walked through Brian Christopher, and I walked through Bill Dundee. And I've been here about 18 months, Dave Brown. I've been the USWA heavyweight champion 4 different times. I've been the USWA tag team champions on 6 different occasions. That is why, Brian Lee, I'm fixing to hop in this ring. And don't get me wrong, Brian Lee, I do have a friend, and my friend is the USWA heavyweight title, and I'm fixing to leave this ring with it right now.
Well, we'll see. Doug Gilbert not passing it up. He's headed to the ring. He got the title shot. He earned it by winning the round robin. And he's headed to the ring right now and says he's going to take the title out of here. Here comes Jimmy Harris, the head of security, and primetime Brian Lee with the USWA heavyweight title belt, which is here.
You know, Dave Brown, I can't believe this. Doug, obviously, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, you went out last night, had too much to drink. You're delirious this morning. You don't want a shot with prime time. I'm going to give you a chance to back out gracefully. Nobody's going to think you're a coward. Just step down. Everybody knows we're friends. Yeah, Doug, come on. Yeah, just give it up. You want me to just leave? Yeah, Doug, just leave. That's simple.
I can't do that because I want that USWA title.
All right, Dave Brown. Doug, I'm just like you. I don't let business stand in the way of friendship, so let's get it on.
All right, Brian Lee heads to the ring. Prime time, the USWA heavyweight champion is head of security Jimmy Harris over here in the corner. Don't like the looks of that.
Jimmy Harris, I tell you, I don't know if you can put much stock into what Harris says, because according to him, Lee wasn't coming out here. He's not going to wrestle in this thing, but Brian Lee, they put a little too much manhood or pride in there to just give it up, he said.
Well, and Doug Gilbert, I mean, Doug Gilbert is not one of the favorites in the USWA. Here's a guy, you talk about 2 against 1. Here's a guy who's always seems to be part of an effort where he tries to outnumber the opposition. Today, he is outnumbered with Jimmy Harris over in the corner. Primetime Brian Lee, he's big, he's tough, and he is the current champion.
Going at it, this is a USWA heavyweight title bout, sanctioned by the USWA, special television time, 1 ball, 30 minutes. Boy, big boot from primetime Brian Lee. Lee with a big headbutt on dangerous Doug Gilbert. Into the turnbuckle, hard, and Lee runs in. Gilbert steps aside, and now Doug Gilbert, well, like Doug was thinking, big kick from dangerous Doug Gilbert. Boy.
You know, one thing Brian Lee better remember here is he's not the only one that'll disregard the rules. Boy, when it comes to breaking rules, Doug Gilbert invented the method of breaking some of those rules.
Got that right.
Gilbert against Lee. What a battle we got going here. The USWA title hangs in the balance. It's right here at the desk for safekeeping. Suplex by Brian Lee. Doug Gilbert left lying on the mat. Brian Lee does not go for the cover. He goes for the choke.
Referee Bill Rush is warning him that, hey, lay off with a throat in there. Punch to go today on USWA Championship Wrestling 2. We still got that 6-man tag, the main event today on this big program. What a great bout right here. Doug Gilbert versus Brian Lee and the USWA heavyweight title on the line. Lee puts that.
You know, this is something you don't hear too much. The crowd is chanting, "Go, Doug, go." The crowd's on Doug Gilbert's side in this particular match. That is a very unusual situation for Doug Gilbert to have the fans behind him.
And it's funny you mentioned that about that time somebody said, "Hey, go Brian, go."
Yeah, it's a bit of a confusion here for the crowds and for me. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, boy, I don't know who I would rather have as the USWA heavyweight champion to represent the USWA as the champion. I'm not sure I want either one of them, but one of them will walk out of here with a belt around their waist.
Well, my sentiment is exactly on that, Dave. I agree with you. Referee Bill Rush checking Doug Gilbert to see if he's giving it up for these.
Brian Lee says he's out. He is not out, though, as the arm still active. So Bill Rush does not rule the match over.
But mostly Brian Lee for the last couple of minutes of this thing, Dave. I tell you, Lee with the upper hand, and dangerous Doug Gilbert trying to Get himself going in there. Whips him into the rope. Clothesline takes down Prime Time. Brian Lee. Ooh, catches him below the belt that time. Gorgeous Jimmy Harris, the head of security for Prime Time Incorporated, sending on the heavyweight title bout as Lee nails Doug Gilbert.
He jammed him in the throat with those fingers on the right hand. Doug Gilbert in trouble. No doubt about it. Primetime Brian Lee, size advantage the size has worked to Primetime Brian Lee's advantage here. He's taller, he's heavier. Doug Gilbert goes flying to the ropes. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What a power slam he put on him. Brian Lee going after it here. Looks like he's trying to wrap it up.
Brian Lee again. Business this time as he went for it for the third time. Doug Gilbert gets out of the way. Sets him up, puts him in. Brian Lee with a big boot. Looked like Gilbert was about to get going there. Here too. Gilbert puts his foot on the bottom rope.
That stopped the count at 2 with a foot on the bottom rope. Doug Gilbert rolls out of the ring now. And
Hey, I made a mistake. Brian Lee, you are Prime Time, and I made the biggest mistake, and let me be the first to apologize.
Gilbert, he made a mistake climbing in there, he said. And now wants to shake hands with Primetime Brian Lee.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
Gilbert. Is he declaring Primetime the winner?
That's right.
Oh, look out.
Look at Gilbert here. Rolls him up. 1, 2, 3.
USWA heavyweight champion, Doug Gilbert. Doug Gilbert has won the belt. And man, what
Hey, he might be big, and he might be bad, but you once had. See, the only difference, Brian Lee, is you are Prime Time, but I'm the USWA champion.
You know, Doug, what in the hell is your problem?
Hey, I ain't got a problem. Like
Yes, you have a
said.
problem. The only difference between me and you is you're a beat man and you're hurt and you don't even know it.
A hurt man.
Hurt man.
That's right.
Jimmy Harris grabbing it from behind.
Oh, boy.
Brian Lee nailing him.
Hey, come on, guys. Brian Lee jumping on dangerous Doug Gilbert. Nelson without walkie-talkie in there.
Now both of them working over Doug Gilbert down here on the floor. Doug Gilbert, the new USWA heavyweight champion. The way he won it, of course, a little strange.
Dave Brown, I'm going to show you what you do with the garbage. You got to take it out.
Hey, come
Brian
on.
Lee, most upset over losing the USWA title. He knows
He
that
is upset.
really he was outsmarted.
What is this?
What are they doing? They're taking him out of the studio.
Lee
Primetime Brian Lee had him by the collar and taking him out of here, followed by Jimmy
There's a
Harris.
camera following them.
They're out kind of in a prop storage area. That's a door to the parking lot right there.
Oh, boy, this could be trouble here, Dave.
Ooh,
Out of the
the side of
van.
one of our bands. Brian Lee, Jimmy Harris, taking Doug Gilbert outside the building, and they're working him over in the parking lot out here.
Yeah.
That's Brian Lee with Doug Gilbert down on the pavement. Jimmy Harris, the head of security, holding him down with a boot.
So Lee and Harris double-team Doug Gilbert after Gilbert wins the title and just take him and throw him outside there, right outdoors. Of the studio here. Oh,
dump
man.
garbage on top of him. Now, I can't say I condone at all what Doug did and the way he won it, but he did win the belt. And you know, once the match is done, it's done. There's Randy Hales out there and the referee trying to get to check out Doug. I tell you, let's take a break. We'll be back with more from the USWA in just a moment. Well, headed this way right now, someone who has perplexed everyone in the USWA over the last few days with all kind of strange things and matches. Here is too sexy Brian Christopher, one of the favorites in the USWA, but with this strange pairing that resulted from a match a few weeks ago in which he and Bill Dundee were the last two men standing and thus became tag team partners and have a shot at the WWF World Tag Titles coming up, and yet I really don't understand, Brian. You turn and you hit your own partner with a chain. I know you guys don't like each other, but you guys have a world title shot coming up here.
Dave, you say you don't understand. Well, you really don't have to understand. I don't care if you don't understand. I don't care if everybody over here don't understand. I don't care if everybody sitting at home watching me doesn't understand. Well, I pulled out a chain and busted it over superstar Bill Dundee's head. Because I know good and well that I should have been the one in this ring right here today facing Brian Lee for the USWA heavyweight title. It should have been me. I should have that belt around my waist, but Bill Dundee is the one that cost it. He's the one that cost it for me. It should have been me. I should have the belt. Everybody knows that I want belts, and that's why I busted Bill Dundee over the head with a chain, Dave. Do you understand now?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You think Bill cost you the match so that it ended up that Doug Gilbert had the USWA title shot here today, and for that reason you turn on him in a tag match.
Yes, for that reason right there. I want every single belt I can get, Dave. Do you understand that? I know you understand that, right? I understand that.
But wouldn't you have had tag belt, and don't you have the WWF World Tag belts possibly coming to you?
Yes, we sure do have the World WWF Tag Team Championship shot coming up. But before we have that, I asked for a grudge match against Bill Dundee, and that's what we're going to have first. A grudge match. Me and you, Bill Dundee, because I want to do one thing. I want to do one thing to you that I don't know if it's been done in a long time. I want to embarrass you, Bill Dundee. Put this right up here. I want to embarrass you, Bill Dundee. I want to publicly humiliate you, Bill Dundee. First, I'm going to take this fist, and I'm going to bust you over the head numerous times. And here he comes. Now I know it's going to be hard to embarrass a little midget that runs around here thinking he's Elvis. But that's what I'm going to do.
And here he comes, Bill Dundee, headed this way. And Bill Dundee, I want to guarantee you, can speak for himself.
Yeah, he can speak for himself, but if you start speaking a little too loud, I know that I promised everybody. I promised them I wasn't going to beat you up out here today. I had to sign a bunch of papers. But if you start running that mouth, if those dentures in your mouth start flapping a little too fast, that's what I'm going to do. You understand me?
I understand you, brother. Let me tell you something. You don't want me for a partner? Well, you were stuck with me, and the word was stuck. Now, when me and George Barnes come along here about 15, 20 years ago, we would have ate punks like you for lunch. I was a real bad hombre then, and I'm going back to being one because I don't like you, brother.
What do you eat for lunch now, huh? Geritol, Dundee?
Well, don't worry about the Geritol.
That was years ago. How many times I got to tell you that?
Okay.
Years ago, I wasn't even born back then.
Well, let me tell you this today. I'm not your partner no more, so find another one to wrestle Yokozuna and that other idiot in the WWF, because you can't hold up your end of the stick, boy.
No, it's you that couldn't hold it up, Dundee. I don't want you as a partner. You would love to have me as a partner. Everybody would love to have me as a partner, but I don't want you, Dundee.
We would have been the tag team champions if you kept your head right. I had the man beat, and it couldn't fight you. See what I mean? I had him beat.
Hey, come on, Bill. We're not going to have this out here. No. Quiet. All right. Keep them apart. We're not going to have this going on here.
Let him touch me first. That's all he's got to do. Watch out, man.
Hey, Well, I think the interview has just ended. Now, I heard Bill Dundee say he was quitting. He was not going to be Brian Christopher's partner. Did I hear right?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. I don't know.
That is it, Dundee. You've made the mistake of your life this week. I'm going to hurt you, old man. I'm going to cripple you, old man. And I'm going to embarrass you, old man.
Well, it's Christopher against Dundee in a single match coming up this week. I think that's ill-advised, too. That's... No. Thanks for getting that all settled out for us, Randy. Brian Christopher's in the ring. He does have a match schedule right here. Let's get order restored. Referee Bill Rush has arrived. The Shadow, Brian Christopher's partner, is in the ring. And this is a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match.
Here we go. Shadow.
You all right?
Yeah,
all right.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine. 207 from parts unknown is the Shadow, and Christopher at 222, Memphis, Tennessee. Snaps the Shadow over. Stop that right there. Hey, let me tell you, I wouldn't be in the Shadow shoes right now for $50 million.
No, I tell you, Brian Christopher is looking at the Shadow, but he's seeing Bill Dundee.
Oh, yeah.
And these two, I don't know, it's just so strange. These guys, they're great tag team partners together. They just can't stand each other.
They just don't like each other.
And, boy, I tell you, they almost got into it right here today. They've got a single match signed, and they've got the shot at the WWF World Tag Titles, but I'm not sure. I don't know if they'll ever get to that match. Dundee says he's quitting, and Brian Christopher says, I don't want you for a partner. Oh, man.
Talk about letting pride and attitudes get involved in something. I think that's the case between Dundee and Christopher and a lot of other things.
Well, and, you know, I hate to be mercenary about it, but let's face it, the WWF World Tag Titles, you are talking about a hunk of money that you're going to be able to make if you have those title belts.
2, 3. That's it. Time to light the party's over if there was a party, because it was all Brian Christopher in that bout.
Yes, indeed. We've still got a 6-man tag team match coming up. Don't you go away. Well, no time limit, no disqualification match earlier today was won by Miss Texas. We got a brand new USWA champion today.
Yeah,
and Doug
going.
Yeah, a lot of strange things coming here. And a very upset Brian Christopher, who is headed this way. We've already talked to Brian once, but he got that determined look on his face headed this way. Yeah, Brian.
I got something to say, Dave Brown. You know, I was out here just a few seconds ago, and I want to get everything straight. When Bill Dundee pushed me, he didn't shove me down. Corey got in my way and tripped me. I just want to make that plain and simple. An old man like Dundee cannot push Brian Christopher down to the ground. But I've been back in the back, and I've been thinking. And I've come up with a plan, a brilliant plan. Because every idea I have is brilliant. Now, I've heard a lot of talk about this Legends reunion coming up. Legends reunion. And you know, I know a lot of legends like Sputnik Monroe, and I know Jackie Fargo, and all those old coots sitting at home right now. But one name that's not a legend and will never be a legend anywhere is Superstar Bill Dundee. Now, he's got the age to qualify to be a legend, but you know what he's lacking? He's lacking the brains. And it always takes brains, Bill Dundee. And I have brains, Bill Dundee. Brian Christopher has got enough brains, Bill Dundee, to think of a master plan. I've got a master match that I want to take place. I'm not and never will be Bill Dundee's partner again. You got that? You heard me. Write it down. But what I want to do is I want to ask Wolfie D to come out here right now.
Why?
I want Wolfie D to get out here. I know you're back there somewhere listening, Wolfie. I want you to step through that curtain and come right out here because I want to talk to you.
Well, here comes Wolfie D. Wolfie D, I remind you, is one half of the USWA Tag Team Champions with his partner J.C. Ice, also known as Jamie Dundee, the son of Bill Dundee. But here is Wolfie D as requested.
Wolfie, I just want to talk to you, plain and simple, man to man, Wolfie, because you are a man, my friend. Come here. You're a man, Wolfie. Now, everybody knows I hate Bill Dundee's stinking guts, right? You know that. Well, what I want to do is, I want to have a tag team match. I want a tag team match. The winners of this tag team match go on to face Yokozuna and Owen Hart for the WWF Heavyweight Tag Team belts, okay? The winners of this match, and this is what I want, Bill Dundee, if you're not a stinking coward like I think you are. Wolfie, I've given you the opportunity of a lifetime. What I want you to do is, I want you, my friend, to be Brian Christopher's partner. How does that sound? And Dundee can go out and he can find anybody he wants. But I want this man right here as my partner. How does that sound?
But why you always come out here acting crazy, man, like you ain't got no sense, man? Man, you know I got a partner. You know I'm the tag team champions with J.C. Ice. I can't do that, man. Last week you was out here wanting to beat me up. Now you want to be my partner. You wild, man.
Hey, which would you rather have, me beating you up or you being my partner? Now, J.C. Ice is a Dundee. His last name is Dundee. His father is stinking superstar Bill Dundee. Am I right? I'm right. Why would you want a little skinny punk with the last name Dundee being your partner when you could have me?
That's my boy, though, man.
That's your boy, though. That's your boy. Listen to me, Wolfie. I'm talking to you right now. I'm giving you the opportunity of a lifetime.
You're yelling. You ain't
Jamie.
talking, man.
Okay, I'll talk. You're right. I was yelling. I'll talk, okay?
Okay.
Jamie Dundee is nothing. He's holding you back. PG-13, they could have been the greatest team ever, right?
Could have been.
But you had Jamie Dundee, little J.C. Ice, the boy that has to run around in a shower to get wet because he's so skinny. You got him as a tag team partner. Wolfie, I see the potential in you. You could be a major, major superstar like myself, because I am. I've held many a titles, right?
Hey, just a minute, what is this guy out here talking about, Wolfie? Out here running his big mouth out here talking about me and you ain't nothing. We are the champions, Brian Christopher. J.C. Ice, Wolfie D. If you want a partner, get your own partner, punk. Don't come messing with mine, all right, boy?
Wolfie, you see, I'm not going to split his lip because I want you to know that I have self-control. I'm not a little wet behind the ear punk like he is coming out here yelling and screaming, ranting and raving. Jamie Dundee, you've never won a belt in your life. It's always been Wolfie D winning all the belts.
Man, don't say
Yeah. Hey, listen to me. I've heard him badmouth you not one, not two, not 10, hundreds of times.
Come on, you just
He
stirring,
says that you're riding his coattails. He says all kinds of stuff in the dressing room. You said it before. Don't lie, boy. Don't lie, boy. Come on, man. Listen. Wolfie, this is going to be a big...
Now wait a minute. Here comes Bill. Look, yeah. Now we're not going to have any confrontation, Brian. Bill.
What? Wolfie.
Dave, I'm going to Kentucky. I've been standing back there listening to this guy, and I know what's wrong with him. You know, everybody knows that they watched Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee in this area for a long time, and they all used to play wrestling. And you know what his problem is? You know who he wanted to be when he was growing up? He wanted to be Bill Dundee. Some neighbor told me when they wrestled in the backyard, he had to be Bill Dundee. And you know your trouble, punk? You'll never be Bill Dundee. You're not man enough now, and you'll never be. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Get over here. We're going to have a tag match, and it's going to be him and me against you and this.
You hear that? No, you hear that, Wolfie? You hear that, Wolfie? You hear that, Wolfie? You hear that? That was Jamie's idea. He wants his dad to be his tag team partner. You hear me? He don't want to, Wolfie. Come on. That's fine with me, Dundee. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. Me and Wolfie.
Wait a minute. I've had it up to here. And you know what's wrong with it, eh? Because you three punks can't make your mind up, and you're going to be my partner. And let me tell you something. The first time I saw you, Airwolf, you was a skinny kid doing nothing, brother. And you hooked up with him. And you know how you get booked around here? Because your name's Dundee. And 20 years and I made it big and bad. Do you think PG-13 can go anywhere? Nowhere. And you certainly can't. You hang on to his coattails because his name's Dundee. And you hang on to mine. You get to the gym, brother. I've had it up to here with you, you snot.
Well, you want to talk about riding coattails? If it weren't for Jerry Lawler, you'd have never been nothing, man. Only reason anybody knows your name is because you were the man that got beat up by Jerry Lawler for years, man. That's my dad you're talking to. That's right, that's your dad. But he's an egomaniac, man. Both of you calm down.
Yeah, you're right, I am. And the big house I live in, I bought. The Mercedes I bought. What do you drive, punk? You ain't even got a hoopty ride. And you and your little old four-wheel drive, brother. Come on, we want to
What about you and that smoke-blowing diesel, Dundee?
Punk stirring over.
Nobody cares about you. This is 1995. This ain't 20 years ago, Jack.
Well, why don't you just hook up with him, brother? Turn around and tell him you're going to be his partner.
That's my partner, and you ain't...
No, man. What's wrong? No, you ain't doing that, man. I just done it. You ain't gonna, man. Go with your dad, man.
Come on, guys.
Hey, come on.
Wait a minute, man.
Come on, guys.
Get away from me.
Now, Brian.
Yeah, Randy, come on, please. Please, come on.
Now, wait a minute. Bill, that game,
Bill.
if you want some of me, you can have it, and that match will take place. I don't care. You want me, you got me, Dundee.
Come on, Bill.
You want you out.
Come on, Bill. Come on.
Well, this disagreement between Dundee and Brian Christopher, I think Brian has succeeded in really stirring it up now. So now...
Wait a minute, Jamie. Your dad's an egomaniac. He's got an attitude problem, and I'm going to show him that this is a new age. Times have changed. Times have changed,
Well,
Dundee.
it's a match that I don't think Wolfie D really wanted.
You wait a minute. He is my dad, and you are my partner.
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
Not anymore. How come? Is this your partner now?
No, look, Jamie, I ain't doing this to be on this guy's side. I ain't doing it. And I ain't doing it to be against you. I'm doing it to prove a point to you.
You son of a...
Wolfie D about had it with Bill Dundee. Brian Christopher had it with Bill Dundee a long time ago. Bill Dundee had it with Brian Christopher a long time ago. I agree with you, Dundee. All right, I don't know if we've got a match signed here or not, but we're going to take a break. We're going to sort all this out, and we'll be back in just a moment. Another change, we're not going to have a six-man tag team match today. It was to be PG-13 and Bill Dundee against Brickhouse Brown, the Gambler, and Gorgeous George III. But Wolfie D, after what happened a few minutes ago, says, I'm not going to wrestle as Jamie's partner, as J.C. Ice's partner. So he is, and certainly not with Bill Dundee as his partner.
That's the biggest thing.
So he said he would prefer just to withdraw from the match. So what we're going to do, we're just going to have a tag team match. We'll have J.C. Ice and Bill Dundee against Brickhouse Brown and the Gambler. So we will have wrestling action for you.
Here's J.C. out.
J.C. right here,
Dundee
and
out
Bill
also.
Dundee right behind him with some sort of plea.
Dave Brown, I never ever thought it would come to this, but Wolfie D, you listen up, you are the one that did it, and remember this, Wolfie D, blood is a whole lot thicker than water, pal. Dave Brown, let me tell you something, you two snot-nosed brats. I've had it up to here with you, Christopher. I don't know what your problem is, because you're going to get to be the same age someday, and I'm just going to tell you something, brother. Bill Dundee's like violins and fine wine. The older he gets, the better he gets. And Wolfie D, you have made a big mistake, brother, because that's two snot-nosed brats I'm going to beat up. Now, Wolfie, I never particularly cared for you in the first place, and I don't know what you put in this boy's head, because the closest thing to the hoot he ever got was when he climbed up in my Cadillac. Now, Wolfie, you big, but you ain't big. So, Brian Christopher, you better ride up and down the road with him and tell him how bad he is. Because just think of this. When you two's done wrestling, Bill Dundee's still going to be doing it. Because it was started off, and I just wanted to see how much of a man you was, Christopher. Now I want to hurt you, punk. I want you out of my hair and out of my life. And the only way to do that is to hurt you, boy. And Wolfie D, you're going to, and I hope you don't take it personally.
Well, there they go. Bill Dundee and J.C. Ice, they're headed to the ring right now. We will have action coming up here in the USWA. Referee Bill Rush is climbing into the ring. And here comes the gambler. Brickhouse Brown has climbed into the ring. As soon as the referee gives us the signal, we will be off and running. I thought we were going to have to count out Brickhouse Brown and the gambler when they finally decided to show up, but there they are. And we are just about set to go with this tag team action.
Low strut from the superstar, Bill Dundee. And again, thanks for settling that on the six-man tag day. We apologize to all of the fans who were looking forward to that, but due to the situation, this will be a great tag team bout. Double backdrop. JC covers. Only one. Dundee covers. And the gambler kicks out before he could get a cover there. JC snaps him down, covers again for a quick one count. And JC Ice, Bill Dundee teaming up today. And it's still kind of strange, Dave.
Oh, it's very strange. You know, I really do kind of feel sorry for PG-13. I mean, here are a couple of kids who have really worked hard. USWA Tag Team Champions. They got the belts this last time and then were immediately put in a situation which was almost a no-win situation. It was a three-team tournament, which they won. They've got the belts, but meanwhile, Brian Christopher hits Bill Dundee, who was his partner, with a chain, and now everything is developed so that even PG-13 has become involved in the fallout, and now they're a bit at odds here, as Wolfie D is going to be teamed with Brian Christopher, while J.C. Ice, Wolfie's partner, is teamed with his dad, Bill Dundee. It's strange, it's weird, it's got more twists than a dime store novel, and it's not over yet. It is going to be a very strange but interesting week coming up in the USWA here, beginning right now. I mean, there's J.C. Ice, not with Wolfie D, but with Bill Dundee as his partner.
So Dundee and J.C. Ice, his son, in there together. J.C. drops the elbow down on the gambler. 1, 2. Gambler up at the 2 count. Been all gambler in there so far for his team, as he's not been able to get a tag on his partner, Brickhouse Brown. And like I may open up a can of worms by the time we say that. He gets the tag, and here is Brickhouse Brown. For the team of Brown and the gambler, these guys, a former tag team champions, Dave, and came in as a very, very competitive tag team.
Brickhouse Brown following up a reverse neck breaker, and Bill Dundee is there to pull him off the top of J.C. Ice. Otherwise, I think Brickhouse probably had him for the count of 3.
No doubt. Into the turnbuckle hard. J.C. not there.
Big mistake by Brickhouse Brown.
Dundee gets in. Out of the way on Brickhouse Brown and the gambler, the Bill superstar Dundee. Here's Gorgeous George III. He jumps in.
George got no business down here. It was scheduled a 6-man match, but then it became just a regular tag match, so Gorgeous George III has no business here at all. He comes rolling in all of a sudden. That's a disqualification on the gambler and Brickhouse Brown. Wolfie D is in to help out J.C. Ice. It gets stranger here, Corey.
Oh, boy. Dundee runs out Gorgeous Jordan. Here's Bill back now, Dave.
Yeah, well, Bill was chasing Gorgeous Jordan, and now nails Wolfie D, who was just here helping J.C. Ice.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's... Look out! Here comes Brian
Christopher. He brought a hubcap. J.C. Ice has picked up the hubcap. Christopher threw the hubcap to Wolfie D, but J.C. Ice saw it lying in the ring and picked it up.
So now, egging it on in there, too, as we go.
We're going to have to take a break here, boy. Let's figure out a way to get these guys apart.
Dave, I don't know.
We're going to be back in just a minute. Today at the USWA. My goodness gracious, this thing with Bill Dundee and Brian Christopher just keeps expanding. Now it is involved in the Fallout PG-13, and you got that special challenge match which is now set up where Bill Dundee and Jamie Dundee, or J.C. Ice, are going to be teamed against Wolfie D and Brian Christopher. It is a strange situation.
I still don't understand it.
It has been strange since Bill Dundee and Brian Christopher were thrown together as unwilling tag partners after they were the two men left standing in a match several weeks ago, and it's just gotten stranger and stranger, and now I think, unfortunately, it's involved other folks. It now involves PG-13.
And PG-13, the USWA Tag Team Champions at this time.
Absolutely, and Wolfie D kept saying, I don't, you know, I've got nothing against you, JC. I want to keep out of this, but that's the way it is. That's the way the match
Got
is
a new USWA heavyweight champion, Dave.
Yeah, and it was a situation where Doug Gilbert outsmarted Brian Lee. He acted like he was going to give up and was overmatched, and he shoved, as you saw, Brian Lee into the bodyguard and then rolled him up for the count of 3. There he is collecting the USWA heavyweight title. He is the new champion right now.
What a day today.
Oh, yeah. We got more of it coming up next week. And Lance will be rejoining us next week, too. For Lance, Corey Macklin, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.